Oh, we've got one person, so it is working. I'm back on StreamYard, so I wasn't sure it was going to work. I'll just give it 5 minutes for a few people to join. There's a shit sign, isn't it? Yeah. Should I just stand here like this? There's got to be a better way of doing this. Proper YouTubers have actual screen that says it, don't they? But God knows how you do that. Oh, bloody hell. I give up. Whatever. Beep, 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 beep. I'll just jump on X and see what there is to see. I've already got a few things bookmarked. Oh, maybe I could actually share that on screen. That would be really cool. So the show hasn't started yet. I'm still trying to work out technicals. What a load of nonsense. So I just tried signing to X on my computer, but not happening. So no comment. Oh, show comments on stage. Enable chat overlay. Yes. What's it going to make me try and okay? Oh, for fuck's sake! Why is it asking for 17 quid a week? What the fuck, man? Oh. Shit. Ah, it is working. So I don't need to pay 17 quid a week. That's good. So you know how this works, guys. Get some questions in, get some comments in. Hello to the weird and wonderful. Good morning. And hey to Axiomin. Oh my god, I'm so glad this curved community. Hey guys, what do you want to talk about today? I've got a few things on X. Let's get those ready. All right, so I'll start by just talking a little about my day. I am officially a non-UK citizen now. That feels really good. I finally filled out my P85 form, which basically says, bye, I'm not living there anymore. So I'm just waiting for them to respond. They've got to check whether I have any income from the UK, which I don't. So I don't own anything in the UK. I don't work in the UK. So yeah, it feels like a big step. I've been putting it off for ages because I hate admin, but I've been trying to do it for the last 2 weeks. But I've needed information from my accountant, and then I lose motivation. But yeah, I've finally done it. So that feels like a big step. In other news, one Tyrant from the UK has been removed. Not the one we want, but one that SWFC fans, Sheffield Wednesday fans, my club, are very happy about. Goodbye, Mr. Chansiri. Sheffield Wednesday has gone into administration, which means he no longer controls the club. Very happy about that. And it's really interesting, actually, because it's such a microcosm of the country. And watching all these football fans, some of whom will be aware of what's going on in the country, but the majority seem to care more about their football club than the country, because it is literally exactly the same as what is happening in England. And they're all like despairing, can't go on with life because the football club has been destroyed, which I understand. It has been really bad for Sheffield Wednesday fans. But it's like, it's happening to the country. They can see it with their football club, but when it's the country, seemingly not. So we're not getting any comments through. I don't know if that's because I'm on StreamYard and there's a problem, but I've only had 2 comments. So this live isn't going to go on very long if you guys don't contribute. What do you think about Candice Owens' latest video, or one of her latest videos, where she basically says Elon Musk and a couple of other big billionaire types are aliens? Fantastic. I can't help but love Candice Owens. I also can't help but wonder, you know, she seems too big to be genuine. Like, in my experience, anyone who gets that big is all part of the show and part of the club. But wow, she is saying some real shit. I mean, I thought, you know, her alleging that Macron's wife has a penis and is his dad, just what Candice Owens says. Obviously, I don't believe this. I thought that was pretty out there and pretty brave, but no, she is really, really sharing some truth, man. Like, oh, sorry, I should say, not really the truth, but what conspiracy theorists call the truth. And now she's saying that, well, everything that David Icke, well, not everything, but, you know, she's now touching upon what David Icke has been saying for quite a while. So yeah, really, really interesting. Really hope she's genuine. All the stuff she's been saying about the Charlie Kirk situation has been really interesting as well. I haven't watched it all, but, you know, I just see snippets on X. Yeah, I really hope she's genuine, man. Hello, Cole, valued Patreon supporter and all-around cool dude who's way more conscious than he realizes. Reptilian or alien something is about to unveil. Yeah, so Jeroen, my spiritual teacher, talks about how we can only see down in densities, what a lot of people refer to as dimensions, but apparently that's a different thing, which is I'm kind of starting to understand, but it's all very complicated. So basically now a lot of people are reaching the 5th density. They can see down into the 4th density, which is where the reptilians exist. Allegedly, apparently, so some crazy people say. Of course, I don't believe that. But yeah, so it makes sense. We're starting to see it a lot, aren't we? Like, we're starting to see very strange news clips that look like either clones or reptilians or something very strange. So yeah, it's a bizarre one. Hello, friend. Are you male or female? Just out of interest. I like you a lot. Not that, you know, not in a sexual way. Just in a, I really appreciate your comments and think you're really cool. So I would like to start putting an image to your comments. None right now. You know, that was why I went to South America or Latin America to find a country to be a resident of. But right now, I'm just footloose and fancy free. Oh, just saying the truth, mate. Just saying that truth. What was it you said the other day about how you naturally, oh yeah, as a kid, you naturally walked barefoot, you know, like, so it shows that, you know, you have a strong remembering of who you actually are, your energetic self. And then obviously we get conditioned as we're here and all that sort of stuff. Nice. Are you still a UK citizen? Is it? Yeah. So I'm still a citizen. I still hold a British passport, but I'm not a resident. So I'm not classed as a tax resident. Is essentially what it's all about. Not that I really make enough money to get taxed anyway, but you know, maybe one day, possibly, potentially. But it just feels good to be out of the system. Hopefully, I won't have to keep doing self-assessments. I haven't earned any money in the UK for almost 3 years now, but yet they still want a self-assessment of me every year. So I'm just hoping that admin-wise and all of that will all go away. I've actually done a year ahead, so next year's is done, and obviously it's just nil. When I was in the UK, I got my last tax bill. I can't even remember. It wasn't much. It was about 1,400 quid, something like that. And that's all paid. So yeah, it's all done as far as I'm concerned. And I'm pretty, you know, it is done because there's nothing else. Like, I don't own anything in the UK. I don't earn any money from the UK. So it's done. Oh, wow. This is good information. Thank you for that. I just think you're great. I really enjoy your comments. It's a real relief to have someone like you on board, particularly on the Broken Mirror. Somebody who really gets it and feels it. And your comments help me keep going. Although I am starting to feel a bit of a detachment from the need to post on there every day. Just a detachment from everything in general, actually. I'm really slowing down. I've not done much for the last few days. I've kept up my boxing training, and that's mainly out of the part of me that hates wasting money. It's like, I've paid for this membership, I'm going to use it every day. But apart from that, I just can't be asked to do anything. And it's not depression. It's not like, you know, it's just like, I'm just happy just being. I've really noticed that I'm a lot happier just being in silence for the last few days, a lot less need to put YouTube videos on. I have been watching quite a lot of Sheffield Wednesday content recently because that is all quite interesting. But I'm done with that now. There's only so many times you can hear people talk about administration. So, oh yeah, we've done Candy Owens. That is fucking interesting. Is this real? David Atherton, I think, is pretty trustworthy and always shares good stuff. So this was a few days ago now. This was 2 days ago. Armed police are patrolling around Wakefield city centre with rifles. Did that really happen? I mean, Wakefield is very diverse, and of course, diversity is our strength. So I can't understand why they'd be there. And then a few crazy conspiracies made some comments. Conspiracy theories made some comments. One said probably protecting the migrants. I mean, that's very racist and vile. Another said training the illegals when the inevitable happens. Now, in my satirical comedic role as a conspiracy theorist, which obviously I'm not really, I don't believe any of this, but I have said for a long time that an army is being brought in. And then they did literally bring in an Afghanistan army. And then there's all the others that, I mean, obviously we know there's loads of women and children really, but we seem to only see men of fighting age. But I'm sure there are lots of women and children, of course. So I don't know. And some people claim, can you believe this? I obviously don't believe this, but can you believe that some people claim that the hotels are actually army barracks? Now, did you see that video the other day? British Founder shared it. A few people shared it. I can't find it anymore, but massive military trucks, huge military trucks with a big police presence being driven through some part of England. And I have seen some videos, which I'm sure aren't true, of hoteliers claiming that the military have turned up at their hotels with massive boxes of weapons. Now, I'm sure it's not true, guys. I'm sure it's just a crazy conspiracy, but I have seen some videos like that. Most definitely, this is still the comments on the rifle, on the armed police in Wakefield. Most definitely, yes, the FUCK should they get... No, that doesn't make any sense. They're all boring. Whatever. Let's see what you could say about that. Cool. Hey, yeah, I used to get in hell for it, but it was just and just is me, and I believe it could be connected with nature as much as I do, as I find it's good for mental health. Yeah, totally. But it's more like what I'm referring to is the knowing, like the fact you did that as a child, the fact that, you know, before you linked it to mental health and all that and nature, which is obviously correct. You knew. You know, you knew. So, like, trust yourself, trust your senses, because they're clearly there. Well, I haven't earned any money in the UK for a long time, not since I left for Thailand. So, yeah, and even my last 3 years in the UK, I didn't earn any money. I was running that community centre and, you know, never took any money out of that. It was a disaster business-wise. So the last time I earned money in the UK would have been through property. And God, it can't be as far back as a doggy den. It must have been, what was before the doggy? No, it was for doggy den. Fuck me, yeah. So I had a very successful business about 5 years ago, and then I had properties. But yeah, I haven't earned any money in the UK for about 3 years. So how it worked out, I owed them 1,400 quid. I can't remember. I think it might have been for selling a property. It must have been. Again, which I actually, most of the last 2 properties I sold, I lost money on. Really bad buys. I watched some conspiracy videos, and some of them seem not so far-fetched. I like to think out of the box. It's for giants for me. When do they wake up? We are being harvested for them. God, this one's fucking crazy, aren't they? They think giants existed. Can you imagine? But I was speaking to it as if it's real, but obviously I don't believe it. So, have you seen the mountains? Like aerial shots of many mountains are clearly either deceased or asleep giants. Like clearly, you can see their arms, their face, you can see everything. A lot of the other mountains are clearly massive tree stumps from back in the day that have obviously been cut, maybe by giants, and we now think they're mountains. A lot of them are also pyramids. Yeah, it's interesting, like how there's also a lot of dragons as well. A lot of mountains that are clearly dragons. I'm sure they're just fake videos, guys. None of it's real, but fascinating. Yeah, that is definitely one of the fascinating things going on. That's going on right now. No, it just isn't meant to be. It's not in this lifetime for me. I would just see the responsibility of it. I couldn't be living the life I'm living now. I think I'm just here to dive deep on my own journey. Like, no, I couldn't think of anything worse than having a child. I just, in every regard, in terms of what's coming, in terms of the responsibility, I think ultimately I'm just too selfish to have a child. Like, I couldn't. God, to have to dedicate that much time and money and energy to something that's not you. No thanks. Oh, what the hell are you doing here, man? Because we're playing a satirical comedic show where we all pretend to be conspiracy theorists. And you still are now, Paul. You're just holding a story that you're not. I don't know. You tell me. I assume you've seen the content. So who knows? But it's not something that I'm going to try. No, I don't think so. I mean, just look at what's happened to the UK now. Like that's not the winners, is it? Have you heard the one about the man on run for deportation? No. Because it's cold, it's wet, it's miserable, and it's still very tyrannical. Why the hell would I want to live in Ireland? Like, I really like Irish people. A lot of what I see there is, you know, they certainly have a lot of balls. But no, I like the sunshine, man. And Southeast Asia is just amazing. It's the best place in the world. All right, what about this?
I hope they're not expecting another lockdown
Shit.
because it seems
you get the idea. So it's a load of, what is it? I can't remember. It's a load of, it's a load of containers for a hazardous event, basically. The UK government is preparing for this is just an accusation from a conspiracy theorist. It's probably not true. The UK government is preparing for a massive event that we don't know about. Videos of hundreds of COSH, control of substances to hazardous to health containers, all brand new and all unused. Apparently, each one costs 4,500. So that's a lot of money for all of those containers. But obviously, you've paid for with your taxes, like everything else. Now, there is some added context for readers. These are COSH containers, which are used to store chemicals safely. The video shows a site of Universal Containers in Manchester, which manufactures them. Yeah, okay. Why? All right, so that's just saying that they've just been manufactured and they're just normal. Seems like a hell of a lot of them to me. What do you think about that? Very interesting. I recommend everyone watch it. I'm sure it's not true then. Yeah, exactly. It was. I think it was somebody who lacks understanding of what's going on and what's about to happen, and yeah. Just coming from a perspective of, I imagine it's somebody who can't imagine leaving the UK, so therefore we're like, oh, maybe Ireland, but like, no, I want completely different. I love. Oh God, Asia's just amazing. Southeast Asia's just amazing. It's just the best. Oh yeah, I've seen a bit about this, man. Like, I haven't seen really enough to comment on it. Give me more information. But how does that happen? How does that happen by accident? That doesn't happen by accident. I don't know the details, but it's just absolutely shocking. I saw Tommy Robinson share a picture of a man believed to be him on the streets. I mean, if it was an English guy, I mean, it wouldn't have happened. But if it did happen, they'd be rearrested within moments. Like, there's just no way. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Why are they trying to terrorize us? Well, we know why, but what I should say is it's very clear that they're trying to create terror on the streets, and not only that, but all these diversities, our strengths that we bring in. They are the absolute dregs of society. I've seen loads of people claim, again, I'm not saying it's true, but people claiming that, essentially other countries are emptying their prisons and sending them to us. Like, we're not getting the doctors and engineers. We really are getting the worst of the worst. Because, I live in a Muslim country, and it's, everyone behaves immaculately. Like, it's very strict and very friendly, and everyone gets on with it. And there's none of this crazy stuff we see in England. So, we're not getting the best of that society. We're getting the absolute worst, and it shows. It shows in what is happening. And a lot of it is, it's Somalians, isn't it? They're just horrendous. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, like, it shows the. In fact, I won't get into that. Maybe I just don't believe I am as knowledgeable as I am told. Something I am trying to lean into more. Yeah, I mean, the fact that it keeps getting reflected to you, like, usually when you're conscious in this society, people do you down. But the fact that people are actually reflecting to you that you are knowledgeable, that you are conscious, accept it. It feels like there is, a self-worth issue in the way of you seeing the truth about yourself. But, if it's constantly getting reflected to you, and I'm reflecting it to you, and I'm seeing it in your comments, then yeah, take it in, brother. Yeah, I'm not going to put your comment on screen just because it refers to the country I'm in. But yeah, I appreciate that during COVID, it might not be much fun here. And that is a concern, because something like that is coming again. But what can you do? I am leaving Southeast Asia very soon and going to go and live in a forest. So I think something really big is coming. So I'm hoping that I'll be in the forest for that, and it won't really affect me too much. I like to watch the conspiracies because it's mad when they come true. Antarctica is sending vibrations to Australia. Strange, it's a giant snoring. Haven't heard that one, but Antarctica is fascinating, and it's the most fascinating thing ever. Some claim there's an ice wall and a lot beyond that. Have you seen that the moon perfectly reflects the Earth? So if you look at it with a certain telescope, it perfectly shows the Earth as in here's Africa, here's America, blah, 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 and that's this much of the moon. And then there's loads more. The system is meant to be set up so this can't happen on its own. Sorry, what are you referring to, Paul? Yes, Paul. Good to have you here, brother. Well, this is why I'm sober. You know, I'm not sober because I've made some fantastic decision and had some major breakthrough. I'm sober because I'm in a country that would send me to jail for 2 years if I touched the stuff. So yeah, I'm just not taking any chances at all. But I'm very much looking forward to getting to the forest and having a smoke. Yeah, it's the first time that I've ever been sensible enough, had enough self-love to respect a country's laws around it. And to be fair, most countries are like, it's illegal, but me, whereas not here. Like, it is full-on illegal, very serious. So I'm just not taking that chance. I just don't think you can get it. I've been told you can get it up on the beaches, but I'm nowhere near those, and I'm not going anywhere near them. So yeah, I'm just not taking that chance, man. I value my freedom too much now. And I am also enjoying being sober. Like, obviously, there's a part of me that's just like, oh my God, I want to get stoned so bad. I know it comes up mostly in the evening. But I'm fine, you know, I'm fine. I don't need it. It's fine. I'm looking forward to smoking again. But also, I'm not. Like, also, I'm like, oh, am I just going to fall back into being a pothead? Or will I finally be able to control it after being sober for 8 weeks? I don't know, man. But yeah, it's just not worth the risk here at all. Yeah, I think that's what I saw Tommy Robinson share. Like, he's just walking around the streets. So this is the SEX offender that's been released by mistake. Just walking around the streets. Police are baffled, just like doctors are baffled about rising rates of lots of diseases since 2021, and they're just baffled. What could it be? I have no idea. Believe it, though. I'm starting to question you, Stephen, about you're commenting too much, and the energy of your comments feels like a twat. Neil Oliver. Is that who I think it is? Historian with hair down to here. Looking at I'm having a brain fart. I'm pretty sure that's Neil Oliver. I like Neil Oliver. Again, as we've discussed in a previous live, I believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt until they prove that they're one of them. Man, Neil Oliver seems so genuine to me. He speaks so well. He's very intellectual. He's very interesting. He's one of the few that I still watch. And yeah, I like him a lot, man. He just seems like a really genuine guy, and I really like how he owns, you know, how indoctrinated he was, and he shares his journey. Like, yeah, I think he's great. I think he's really great. Obviously, like, maybe he'll turn out to be one of them too. I mean, he used to be on TV, didn't he? Was he on the BBC? I'm not sure. But, you know, it seems to me like he's lost. I mean, it always seems this way. Like, it looks like Kate Hopkins and Tommy Robinson lost their properties, and Tommy Robinson went to jail and all that, supposedly. But it seems to me like he's lost a lot more than he's gained by speaking out. So, yeah, I right now, I'm totally with him. Yes, to me, the moon looks like a reflection of us, and the sun is because we as a whole are bright as light. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, but that's not really the story, mate. That's like, it might look like that from the outside, and I appreciate for most clubs it'd be like, oh my God, administration, that's the worst thing ever. But we have had Keir Starmer running us for the last 10 years. Like, honestly, like, we have had the equivalent somebody intentionally, it seems, intentionally trying to destroy the club, which is very hard to get your head around. But only 3 to 4 months ago, he rejected like a £60 million offer, and now it's in administration. Like, the guy has no sense whatsoever. Like, he was an absolute tyrant. So Wednesday fans are delighted that we've gone into administration. Anything to get rid of him. We accept we're going to League One. But to get rid of that man, like, it's just so. Honestly, I think we'd have taken like relegation to the 4th division to get rid of him. Like, it was as bad as it gets. As bad as it gets. I think there's only Rotherham and Blackpool and Morecambe that have experienced something similar. I'm not quite sure what happened at Bury. Obviously, they actually went out of business. So they probably experienced something similar. But like, it's been horrendous. With hindsight, it's been horrendous for 8 years. We didn't realise it until about 4 years ago, or most of us didn't realise it. But yeah, so worth it. Like, Wednesday fans are delighted. Search on X for the Wednesday scoreboard. They did something absolutely amazing at the start of yesterday's game. So good. So good. Yeah, Wednesday fans are delighted. But that just shows how bad it's been. Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable. Certainly by 2021. I mean, I had a friend who, didn't let me forfeit at all. No, I knew straight away. I remember a mate coming around and being like, have you seen what's happening in China? And he was a bit fearful. So this is when like people were falling in China. He was a bit fearful. And I was like, but then I was also starting a friendship with a very conscious man who just, there was just no way I was ever going to forfeit with him in my life. I wouldn't have done anyway. Like, oh no, I do briefly remember like the first pots and pans. That for the NHS. I went outside, but it was more to witness it. But at that point, I remember feeling like the obligation to do it, as in not feeling like I was obliged to do it or wanted to, but feeling that conscious indoctrination, basically, that everyone was under. And I went outside like with the intention of doing it, and then I just looked at everyone and was just like, this is bollocks. Like, I could just feel, I was just like, oh, this is bollocks. And walked back inside. So I think for 2 weeks I didn't completely know it was bullshit, but yeah, after 2 weeks I did. But yeah, people who went along with it until 2021 is just no. Ooh, you're probably right. You are probably right. So what have you seen? Like, is that just because so many people are, or because he used to be on the TV, or have you actually seen something? Because I've never seen anything from him that isn't good. So we're at the end of the comments, guys. I've got nothing else bookmarked. There is so fucking much now. It's like, where do you even start, man? And most of my videos on Sheffield Wednesday at the moment because I've been looking at all that. So, unless anyone's got anything else to say, we shall shortly wrap it up. Oh my God, Keir Starmer! It's just amazing that he's still trying to make out that he's just like these offers and are a good thing. Like, I didn't watch it because I can't bear to look at the man, but I saw like a pretty long video where he came out like, oh, what digital ideas will do for us, and all I did was read the comments, and I mean, it was just every single comment. It's just like, you tyrant, UCUNT. Really good comments, actually. Maybe I should read some of them out. It would probably actually not be good for the channel. Maybe I shouldn't. But I just find it amazing that he's even trying to say that it's for the people, or could in any way be a good thing. It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. But apparently I saw a clip, which again I didn't watch, but from a Labour MP or backbencher or something, saying that they are struggling with it and they are kind of revolting in the party of it, and they know it's the end of the Labour Party if they do it. And yeah, I'm wondering if it's even going to go through. I mean, I know they seem hell bent on it, but I just can't see how it's going to go through with no support at all. Like, no one's supporting it. People, politicians, no one. It's just fucking Keir Starmer trying to ram it through. So Chris agrees with Melvin about Neil Oliver. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is definitely true, and it feels like it's turning, but not to the point where anything's actually going to change. People are still more interested in their football club. Hey up, Tim. I did see a very strange comment from you the other day. Oh no, actually, I think when I read it again, I saw that actually it wasn't that strange. Forget it. Melvin, go news. If other people half awake, they have to give you something, i.e. Neil Oliver. Yeah, maybe. I mean, Mr. Pike said it, didn't he? If you need a leader, we shall provide you one. I see that more as like Trump and Farage and Robinson, but yeah, he could well be. If Neil Oliver is an actor, he's one of the better ones. Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's certainly very, very genuine. He's certainly very, very intelligent and comes across as genuine. But then that's exactly who they choose. Hey Sam, can't cope with digital ID. I can see what's coming. And yeah, if it comes in, it's hard to see much future. I don't think it's going to come in. It's just a hunch. It's just a hunch, and I suppose it's based on all the backlash and all that. But what was the latest thing? That every time, what was it? You do something, you'll have to pay £85 if you haven't got it. Every time, maybe you register with a company or you do. Someone let me know in the comments. But his latest thing was it will cost you £85 if you don't have a digital ID. It will cost you £85 every time you. I think it's registered with a company or something like that. And just disgusting. Like, people are on the brink. And I know I'm speaking as if they're not trying to, destroy everything. You still have to, you still can't help but come from common sense sometimes. But people are absolutely on the brink, and he's just like, yeah, it's £5 every time you register with a company if you don't do this tyrannical thing. Terrible. It breaks my heart watching what is happening in the UK, and my two nieces are moving to London to work next year. Oh my God, that's so dangerous. There is nothing I can say to stop them. So the previous person asking me if I regret not having kids. No. That feeling of watching young ones that you care about and love do something insane, I couldn't go with that. I don't think I'd be able to. I totally respect why Liz. Not even why. I respect Liz for being able to accept and allow and realize people need to make their own mistakes and not just getting involved to a point where they'll disown you, because that's all that will happen. So I totally respect it, and I think it's the right way to be. But I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be seething in there like, do you not know this? Do you not know that? And we'd just lose that relationship, just like I have with all my siblings. Go News. Is that meant to be GB News? I mean, I totally agree that's government propaganda. For the half-awake people, yeah, I think that's meant to be GB News. Gotta get your head around democracy is fake and it's all bullshit. Yeah, totally. But my only question is, can there not be the odd good guy? Can Neil Oliver not be a good guy? There's got to be the odd one. I know I'm one, so there's got to be some. I think Dino Bain is one too. Now, admittedly, me and Dino Bain aren't of the system and didn't used to be on TV, so I can understand why Neil Oliver is a lot more likely. But there has to be some good ones. But that doesn't mean I don't agree with you about GB News and democracy and all that. Yeah, I really hope, I don't want to bring it up, Sam, because it's for you to bring it up, but I really hope you got good news the other day. We've been thinking about you. Yeah, I caught that, mate. I just kind of lost it with a couple of negative comments. All good, mate. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, so I read it as you were agreeing with a negative comment. And I was like, this guy's a huge supporter. Why is he suddenly agreeing with the plebs? But then when I read it again, I was like, oh no, I don't think he is actually. You wrote something like "you're a legend, mate." Yeah, you're a legend, mate, for that comment, but it wasn't quite that. But I think you were actually saying like for how ridiculous that comment was. I hope you were anyway, because I've always really liked you. They cannot see what is happening despite me informing my brother and the girls. That's so frustrating, isn't it, man? So frustrating. I'll never forget when. So this is when COVID first started, and they hadn't even enforced anything yet. There was no 6 foot, there was no social distancing, there was none of that. It was right at the start. And my dad went round to my brother's house to drop something off, and they were like through the window, like, put it down outside. They were already masked up. They wouldn't let my dad in the house or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, so I never even tried with my siblings because I just don't care enough. Like I never really liked them anyway. But with my parents, I really tried. I really tried. And I remember when my mum rang me up and said that she'd had the clot shot, and it was a devastating moment. It really affected me, man. But what can you do? What can you do? You just have to let people make the mistakes that they're gonna make, and get on with your life and fuck off to Southeast Asia and leave them all to it. Neil Oliver did a pod on the fiat system crashing, which is happening, and we need to buy assets, in particular precious metals. This makes me trust him. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's enough to make you trust them. So the way these, if he is controlled opposition, obviously they make you trust them by giving you really good information. However, that is really good advice, and I've never seen anything that makes me distrust him other than the fact that he used to work in media. But that is how they all do it, But then I suppose with Katie Hopkins, I mean, there's not been anything obvious with Neil Oliver. He's not given any bad advice. So Katie Hopkins tells you to put your faith in Trump. Tommy Robinson tells you that multiculturalism is cool. So it's a very obvious. Neil Oliver, no, he doesn't. He only ever gives good advice. He's only ever seems genuine. I think have listened to that podcast. Very, very good. I would say Bitcoin over. Well, I'm not going to say anything because I don't fucking know. But yeah, either that or Bitcoin. Really? What's Legatum? If it's owned by Billy G, then well, we already know it's controlled opposition. It's very obvious. They seem to be trying to stoke up civil war, from what I can see. Me too. I like him a lot. Must be purgatory, Sam. I remember waiting for HIV results after I had relations with somebody who turned out to be HIV positive, and it was hell. Very God's sake. All came back negative. Oh man, yeah, it was just fucking hell, man. I really, really know what you're going through. Do I really want to share this? Fuck it, I'll share it. And then so that was actually the first boyfriend I ever had who turned out to be HIV positive. And now, luckily, it was only fellatio. So that was fine. And then fucking 10 years later, I was totally in love with a guy. This was a guy that broke me and made me go on my spiritual journey because I just couldn't fucking cope. So I started trying things that were outside the box, like drinking ayahuasca and going to therapy. And so we were together. So we were having unprotected sex. And then 2 weeks after we broke up, I found out he was HIV positive. And presumably it happened after we broke up, but I didn't know. And obviously he didn't know because he was a fucking slag. So that was fucking, yeah, so when I went in there, I demanded a 24-hour test because of what I'd experienced. I couldn't fucking wait for results. And I remember as they took my blood, like collapsing to the floor, and like just, oh my God, I was just inconsolable. And then he was like, so it's not a very accurate test because it's there and then, but it's, you know, accurate enough to, and he was like, no, it's negative. And then I got the pop test, it was negative. But yeah, whoa, fuck me, man. There's nothing worse than health scares. Fucking, so yeah, sending you guys a look, son. I think it's going to be okay. I just don't know what to make of this. Like, I don't know. Like, obviously, it feels very real when you receive them. Hang on, what time is it? I've got a boxing scene. We can go for another hour. That's fine. As long as you keep commenting, maybe sending some donations. What we're talking about? Yeah, this bot thing. I'm sure it's true. I'm sure there's loads of bots on the internet. But they're very good because they seem very real. Oh, that's good to know, Tim. I knew you were a good guy, man. You can often tell when people in media, non-MSN, have been sold out because they suddenly pick a side. But you could say Neil Oliver has, I mean, do you mean that politically, or can we have a bit more information, please, Liz? Yeah, man, I was proper shocked when I thought it was negative and you were agreeing with the blacks or the bots, whatever the hell they are. I was proper shocked. So that's why I went back and reread it, because I was like, because then you carried on commenting positively and like dropping emojis, which is clearly to support the video. But then I was like, a lot of your emojis are laughing faces, so I was like, oh, is he just been laughing at me all the time? And then you dropped the fucking cool dude one as well, so I was just like, what is going on? So then I went back and reread it, and I was like, oh no, I think he's taking a piss. I don't think I understand this one. Alexander D. Yeah, I don't understand this, and I'm scared of reading out all those names in case, you know, some of them are YouTube triggering. Oh no, I bet you was terrified, waiting to have it questioned if HIV came back. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, and it was worse than that as well. So it was the day that I came out to my family. It was like, so I came out because of him. He was called Brad. I can't believe I'm telling you this. And he was fucking horrible. He was like super gay, but like, you know. So I'd just come out to my friend and I was like breaking down. I was in tears. It was, you know, a very scary time for me. And she was like, I don't know how to handle this. Like, it's no problem, whatever. But like, here's my gay friend. So I went and met her gay friend. And obviously, you know, I was 18 and didn't know who I was. And it was the first gay guy I'd ever met who was semi-attractive. He wasn't actually attractive, but, you know, attractive enough for a desperate love addict who had just come out and met his first gay person to fall in love with. And yeah, so I was like all fucking loved up and excited and was in this new phase of my life. And I remember texting him and saying, I'm going to come out to my parents today because of you. Like, that's, you know, that's how much of a love addict I was. Like, it was all for the other person, not for me. And oh shit, yeah, fuck me. So I told my mum on the way to a Sheffield Wednesday match, and she reacted really well. And then I got a text off my dad, reacting really well. And then he worked at the Hilton Hotel, and when he had like a night shift and a morning shift, he'd stay over. So I went to meet him at the Hilton Hotel, and he I don't quite remember. I think I asked him to get tested. I'm pretty sure I asked him to get tested. Yeah, I was like, if we're going to do this, I want you to get tested. And, you know, fucking good on me for doing that. And I remember him saying, yeah, I remember this bit really well, him saying, what would happen if I did have it? And I just laughed and went, obviously we won't be together, and then went to the toilet. And I came back and he was crying. And I was like, well, what's up? And he was like, I'm HIV positive. And at this point, I'd only sucked him up. But that was enough for me to go into this huge panic and paranoia. Yeah. lasted for 5 days until I got the results back. But yeah, it was crazy, man. Like all at the same time that it came out, but actually, I think it was a real godsend because it made me super safe. Like after that experience, you know, I've very rarely had unprotected sex, and I think that was a real blessing in disguise because, you know, I was a real sex addict for a decade and also a drug addict and all sorts. So, you know, I could have been very reckless maybe in the next few years, but after that, I was just like, whoa, I am always going to bag up. So I think it was a real blessing in disguise. Oh, sorry, mate. It was just my misunderstanding, man. Totally my misunderstanding. We know you're a good one. Hey, Di. Well, you're not actually called Di. Do I actually know your name? Maybe you don't want to share it, but live to bite it. Hi, just seen your live. Doggy is struggling. I think we are near the end. Oh, bless you. That's a really hard time. I'm not really sure if there's anything I can say to make that easier, other than just, you know, sending you so much love and honoring what you're going through, man. It is the hardest thing ever. Whew, bless you, bless you, bless you. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good example. I don't think Neil Oliver's done that. Is that right? Can we all send some love to Liv's sobriety, please? Because she is going through a tough one. It's likely. Do I want to read this? Okay, I think it's all right. So I don't know who Bridgen Lowe is. Ant Middleton, yeah, I think he's definitely an asset. They do this, create hero figures for use later on. Ant Middleton is East Squadron counter-revolutionary welfare specialist TV persona to use later on. Yeah, I think that's a good call. Again, I'm not definite about it, but yeah, I think that's a good call. They, presumably that's meant to be, create new identities by creating a new person, a fictional identity. So I think you're referring to, well, I don't really know, like maybe birth certificates and stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to. I don't understand this one. So please explain more. I'm not going to read it out, but I think that's very interesting. Not really. I was just in a situation and just had to deal with it. But I'm not sure I dealt with it too well. So again, I'm not going to read this out, but I do agree. But I didn't know this at the time. This is when I was super conditioned. Now, if I got a test result now, I mean, I wouldn't even go for a test, but if I got a test result now saying I was HIV positive, I wouldn't take the drugs. I absolutely wouldn't take the drugs. Oh man, I can't really say it because it's, you know, it's something YouTube really won't like. But is there a way of wording this? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take the drugs. That's about all I can say, I think. But of course, it's all real, and you should always trust your doctors. I did know that. Thank you, Diane. Yes, sending you so much love. And so what other people think you this? Oh shit, battery. Fuck it up. We're good, we're good. Are you referring to a guy that accidentally got released after, you know, issuing the grapes? Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting that Fauci was involved with it. And it's, oops, hang on. This is what we're referring to. Again, I'm sure Fauci is a very good guy and we can trust him, but some people believe that, well, I mean, it is a fact that he was involved with both the 2020 stuff and this stuff, and it's pretty much the same playbook. So, yeah, really interesting. Tom, personally, resurrendering, I'm not at all anyone can unless life itself takes them there. What do you think? I'm not at all anyone can unless life takes them there. That doesn't make sense, but I think I can work out what you're trying to say. Are you saying you're not at all surrendered? I find that hard to believe. So I think you're saying basically no one will ever surrender unless life takes them there. Yeah, I totally agree. Why would you? If everything's nice on the external, if everything's working out, obviously we all try to control our existence. And for me, it's when that control stops working that I started looking or started realizing through, doing a load of stuff that showed me that, like ayahuasca being the main one, but men's work as well, breath work, loads of stuff. But actually, this life is actually about letting go and surrendering. But yeah, it took a lot to show me that. A lot of cataclysm and battering and destruction, ultimately humbling through, what people would call lots of embarrassing events to get me to even begin to surrender. Good morning, my friend. It's nice to call you that after thinking you were a dickhead for so long, but now I really like you. I agree with you about drugs. This is the first time I've got my dog jabbed this year, and he's gone downhill fast. Same as the last two dogs. Never believed in dog jabs at all. Yeah, I've only ever done it when I want to sit my dogs are bored. Really annoying that you have to do it. But yeah, I don't think there's any questioning that anymore. So some conspiracy theories would say, but always trust your vet. So is it not an old dog? Maybe I shouldn't be asking these questions, but I assumed it was an old dog. Yeah, just don't be too hard on yourself for making that decision. We all make mistakes. I'm sure your dog will still love you and forgive you. Good morning, Be Lucky. That's a nice name. Yeah, so where are you with the surrendering journey? What forced you into it? Cole agrees. Oh wow, I've not seen this guy for a while. I feel like I've not seen you since I came back to YouTube. I don't know why I do that because I did leave YouTube and then come back. So yeah, really good to see you again, brother. I really like you. Always really enjoy your comments. Oh wow, I agree, Arcadia. Thank you very much. No, I've not, Marky, and I'm not going to put it on screen because it seems too conspiratorial. I was going to say truthful, but obviously it's not true. So too conspiratorial. Why did you? I'm not blaming, or I'm just interested because you're obviously very conscious. Like, what made you decide to give them the recommended medicines, which obviously will be very good for them because we always trust vets and doctors, and we always get our information from mainstream media and trust our governments. I can tell you've been there, mate. If you know, you know. If you've been able to surrender, you effing well know, right? Yeah, because you are on your knees going, I can't do this anymore, and you give yourself to something higher than you, and then you will fall out of it, and you will go back into the ego, thinking you can control things and make things happen. But I it's countless, and every day there's something that makes me surrender a little more. But in terms of big stuff like losing businesses, going to jail, big fucking things. There's definitely 5, but I feel like there's more like 8 like big things where I have just had to accept that I don't know shit and that I keep getting this wrong And also, like, it's the only way you can make sense of it when something really bad happens, when you haven't really even done anything that wrong to deserve it. You know, you have to start asking, what is this here to teach me, rather than why is this happening to me? For me, that's the big turning point. There's many big turning points, but that's a really big one, when you go from why is this happening to me to what is this here to teach me. And that changes everything. When you start asking that question, it just changes everything. No, but also, you know, they don't live much past, I mean, it's 8 to 12, isn't it, their lifespan. Oh, Rottweilers, man, they're the best. I've never owned a Rottweiler. I've wanted a Rottweiler for so long. Oh, they're so good, man. They're so good. Yeah, just what a beautiful 8 years you've had, eh? I'm really trying to focus on that, but I know it will be hard right now. Okay, yeah. Oh, man, it's so bad, isn't it? So bad. Oh, it just makes me so angry. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you at all for that. I've done it too. And that was just to like go traveling, whereas I think you're like really trying to start a new life, aren't you, abroad? So yeah, I mean, I think you did the right thing. You know, you're trying to start a new life abroad. Your major honor to you, and just says so much about you as a person, that you are determined to take your dogs with you. So I just totally understand why you did that. And I think, you know, I think it's for the greater good that you get out of the UK if you're able to. So yeah, I would have done the same thing. Bless you. Oh, good. And the reason I laugh is because it's like as if it wasn't all done on her. But I mean, oh, it's just mental, man. It's just mental. But yeah, I'm very glad to hear that he's no longer on the streets, because does it even make any difference when there's so many of them that are eating grapes with young children? Well, of course it's a good thing, but then it's just like, you know, it's like going back to like 10, 20 years ago. It's like, oh, we've got a dangerous man off the streets, therefore women and children will be safer. And then you look at the hotels and you're like, oh, is it going to make any difference? Sorry to laugh at something so serious, but you know, it is so ridiculous. You can't help but laugh a little bit. That doesn't mean I think the situation is actually funny. I think it's a coping mechanism more than anything. Oh, God, I miss it so much. I miss it so much. Yeah, I've already spoken to it. I totally understand why you did that. It was just as you described for me a couple of weeks at least. Couldn't eat or kip or even express anything utter than utter heartbreak. Yeah. But it's like the ego dying, isn't it? It's like, so that period there is us as people, but in this situation, you, but we all do it, hanging on to that version or that part of the ego, however you want to refer it. But that only ends when you surrender, when you let go. Then it's like, and you go into something new and a new version of yourself. But that period can go on for as long as you want it to go on to, as long as you're still holding on. And honestly, like, I don't know how anyone really does it without having drank ayahuasca, because it was her that taught me how to do it. Like, I very clearly saw with her what surrendering was, because she gave me no bloody choice. Get your head in that fucking bucket. I don't know where I'd be without her. I don't know if I'd have ever learned to surrender, or if I'd still be like angry about the businesses I lost, or like in the story of like, why did that happen to me? I don't know. It's hard to say, but I don't think I'd have got anywhere without the Great Mother. I'm asking myself this a lot now. What am I here to learn from my testing? Yeah, I mean, this is as big as it gets. This is as big a lesson as it gets. There is nothing more earth-shattering than health stuff. So yeah, it's a very, very good question to be asking, and I think it's much more likely you'll get the results you want if you ask that question and take the lesson, because I hate to say it, but if you don't, then the lesson might need to be stronger, i.e. not the results you want. Well, it's funny you say that. Are you carrying any silver yet? If not, when you get to the place where you get mail, get me an address and I will send you a piece. Oh, well, bless you, bro. That's very kind. So obviously I can't physically carry silver. I mean, I could maybe carry a piece. But yeah, so I signed up to I forget what it's called, but the very trusted bullion something website today. And I managed to put £100 in there. That's all I have spare right now, sadly. But yeah, I think silver is a very wise investment right now. I would love to buy more, man, but I just don't have any money. But I really appreciate that, Arcadian. It would be great to have an actual piece of silver. Yeah, especially like when everything goes down and crashes, which I'm sure it will, in terms of like we'll have no internet for a period. Yeah, maybe I could use that to survive for a few weeks. I don't know how much a piece of silver is worth, but maybe that should be very handy. Bless you, bud. Yeah. I mean, I very, that's not true. It's kind of true, but not true. Like, you know, there's probably still not a day that goes by that I don't have the thought, I just want to end it all. But it's not, it's so far from being real and tangible. Right, okay, so this is the difference. I used to spend my life lying in bed imagining doing it, imagining hanging myself. And I used to also have this fantasy about being just crushed. It's a long time since I've gone into that. So for me, that's really those sort of thoughts. What happens now is just an old pattern pops up and I'm just like, no, I don't think so. But yeah, I think that's, again, it's like that's the ego as it's cracking, as it's dying, you know, it is literally ending, or that part of the ego, obviously not all of it, but or that part of former self, or that part of controlling self, however you want to word it, is cracking and dying, and therefore that story comes up. And you know, some people would rather end it than take responsibility and do the work, you know, because that's how terrifying it is, and that's why so few people do it. But yeah, like every time I've been through a cataclysm, that has come up for sure. But then you realize that actually you don't need to end yourself. You just need to allow that part of you to end. You mean that fucker ruining their life? That's Toby. So some of you have seen Toby. He was on a live, and he's quite prominent in my English refugee videos that are coming up. I've walked him twice. He's really annoying. He's a beagle. So they are very annoying. I mean, obviously I love all dogs, but you know, they're right at the bottom of the pile for me. You know, they're not bred as like man and dog dogs, you know, the opposite of a lot. You know, they're hounds and they pick up scents and they're very self-obsessed. They're much more interested in scents, smells than their owner. So I've taken them out twice. Now, the problem is they use the wrong lead. They don't use a slip lead. They use a chain that's just like attached to. So it's not talking to him instinctually here like a slip lead does. It's just all the pressure's on here. I've talked to them about it. They're not interested. They have a terrible relationship with this dog. Like they love him and look after him and all that, but you know, they don't have what I call a relationship, which is like dog and leader. And then the dog is like just loves life because it has its boundaries and it knows, you know, it doesn't have to control the situation. So they're not willing to put any effort in with him. So I've walked him twice, and it was much better on the second walk. But basically, if I walk him, it takes all peace and tranquility out of the walk. And I'm usually filming when I walk, so it just feels too much to have him and the camera. So the answer is yes, I already have twice, but I don't particularly enjoy it, and I'm not sure I'll do it again. Now they've suddenly started letting him run around. So when I first came here, he was just chained up all the time, which is why I walked him. And now he seems to have a run of the garden. I think it's because everyone that's staying here is like long-term people, and we all know to shut the gate, maybe. So there's a lot less need, and it's very hot here, so he gets very tired anyway. So I'll probably walk him a couple more times. I think it's already happening. I mean, I always forget his name, but the really good financial guy, something Ward. Fucking hell. Is it Neil Ward? He worked out that a millionaire was leaving every 44 minutes. So do you mean more than just people with money? I can't see how people who haven't got enough money to support themselves or make money online are going to do it. But yeah, it'd be great if there's a way. But as far as I'm aware, I know Trump did talk about visas, you know, for refugees from the UK. But I think I'm right in saying it was like for people who could support themselves. I don't think he was about to give out a load of benefits. Let me know if you know anything more on that. I think this is meant to say there is nowhere safe anymore. Yeah, but there are places where they're not actively coming for you. There are places where you can. I mean, freedom of speech is a real issue in most places around the world, that's for sure. But honestly, like when you're in places like this, it doesn't feel like it's there, you know. And I mean, it just doesn't really exist yet, but it is coming, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a worldwide agenda, but honestly, man, like if you're in Latin America or Southeast Asia, this stuff just doesn't even really apply. Like, they're miles off it. They're miles off it. And you know, they respect their countries and their people. Like, they might be powerless to stop it. I accept that long term, but I don't think they're not gonna betray their people like our governments. Definitely not. Like, they care. Like, they care about their country. They're really patriotic in these places. Yes. I regret them. I would never ever get a tattoo again. I think it's so. I did it from a you know, I was very broken when I got tattoos. I just started drinking ayahuasca, and I was still trying to be something externally. So there was very much a story of, if I get tattoos, I'll be this. Like, oh, people will see me this way, you know. So it was very desperate and very external. Luckily, I was on my journey with plant medicine right at the start of it. So they are plant medicine inspired. And so yeah, because had I have got a tattoo before, it would have probably been a Sheffield Wednesday tattoo, which I would just be mortified about now. But I'm pretty mortified is too strong a word, but you know, I definitely don't. You know, I think they're decent tattoos, but I just don't like tattoos, and I just see them as trauma stamps. You know, it's very clear to me that people covered in tattoos are just, you know, covered in trauma, and it's a very external solution for what needs to be looked at internally. The first one I got was this one, peyote inspired. That's for shaman, and then it's got all that, you know, eagle and all South American shit. Old wise man, and then the other one was ayahuasca inspired. So this is how a Yawanawa tribe mark themselves. So this is meant to be like a young warrior. It was also Mankind Project inspired. I just got initiated into Mankind Project, so it's kind of like the young warrior from the Yawanawa tribe. And thankfully, that's it. It was going to be a whole sleeve, and then I drank some more ayahuasca and was like, hang on a minute, this is what plebs do. My parents did it because they wanted to get on a plane. You'll have to remind me what it is. Fucking hell, what is it? Oh, fuck me, I can't remember what it is. Fuck's sake. I've got a good idea, but let me just make sure I get it right. Okay, so it's a psychological experience in which a person suffers from feelings of intellectual and or professional fraudulence. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going through it right now, actually. Like, it's hard to say, man, because I don't know which part is my ego and which part is delusion and which part is truth. But basically, I feel like, oh yeah, I mean, it could just be a going nonsense. But I feel like I am here for something big. Like, I feel like I'm definitely, at the very least, here to speak on YouTube, and maybe more. But that isn't happening for me. Like, 54 people are watching. So then I go into potential imposter syndrome, or maybe reality. Like, I don't know, but yeah. So the way I'm coping with it is just by, so let's say I am in it, which I could well be. Just by learning to be okay with whatever is happening in my life and accepting it, and just trying to follow the signs and slow down a bit more each day, take out my desire to control situations, recognize the patterns, and just learn to trust more every day with whatever is occurring, and accept that is how it's meant to be. And whatever desires I have for my life are kind of irrelevant, really, because it's going to be whatever it's meant to be. So yeah, that's how I deal with it. Does that answer the question? Is that where we go in? Yeah, and essentially this. Yeah, just learning to be more in synergy every day, or just slowing down each day and accepting that if there is something to come, that it will only come through me surrendering rather than me like push, which is what I've done all my life. So I'm just fucking mind myself. I'm not sure if I've really answered the question, and I'm also not sure if you're a hater trying to diss me, but I don't care. Person suffers from feelings of intellectual and or professional fraudulence. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you are a hater trying to diss me, but it's irrelevant because it's a good talking point, and I don't care what people think. Intellectual and or professional fraudulence. Yeah, so I actually don't. So for me, it only comes up when I think that I should be more. I should be a teacher. I should be some sort of leader, something like that. I don't have any feelings of intellectual fraudulence because I think I am very. I think I have a high IQ, and I think I also admit that when I don't know stuff, I don't try and speak into stuff I don't know about, and I'm just not professional. Why would I want to be professional? That's awful. So yeah, I think that's probably a better answer, actually. Tom, I wasn't at all trying to surrender. I know nothing about it at all. Life just took me there. Yeah. So that's how it starts. But now that you're intellectually aware of what that process is, that period you talked about before, which I think you said was 2 weeks of hell, basically, that should get a lot shorter and shorter because you'll lean into it and you'll be like, oh, it's here again. This is what I have to do. Oh, this hurts so much. Oh, okay, so rather than being like for way longer and then finally being like So are you talking recently? Like the shift that I noticed, or are you talking about something else? And was it through Ethereum? Is that what you called it last time? What's the actual name for it? Ooh, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna have to wrap this up in 10 minutes because I want to go boxing. I have a thought often, but I won't now, as I tried it and it broke my kids. Yeah. I imagine having kids. Yeah, I don't really know what to say to that because it's beyond my, I don't know what it's like to have kids. But yeah, I mean, it would just be horrendous for them. And I know you won't. I absolutely know you won't. And I'm really glad that you weren't successful because you're an amazing person that needs to be here. I need to be all there, someone's opinion telling me what to do. I'll live by your opinion, shall I? And not live my own life? No thanks. You're not trying, baby. You are doing. Gold, silver, and diamonds are worthless, really. It's only the elites telling everyone they are scarce that makes them worth anything. I know that's definitely true about diamonds. That's the biggest scam ever. Yeah, I'm sure there's loads of gold and silver that's yet to be mined. And that's not even taking into account asteroids. Very interesting point. That's the boy. Why do I always forget his name? Right, I'm gonna. Okay, there's not many more comments. $2,000 a month, really, because once you take into account visas and traveling costs, yeah, $2,000 a month to live comfortably. My son is getting a USA visa as we talk. He's financially doing well and probably help me get over there, but I fancy Mexico or Spain. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think America is an escape, but it's certainly a lot less intense than it is now. I'm not sure where I'm at with things, but I feel just so much more now. At a moment's notice, I can now put myself in utter heartbreak mode. Yeah, brilliant, man. Like, learning to feel is everything. We're all so fucking numb, man. You're fucking on the journey, man, and you are exactly where you're meant to be, and you're definitely doing it. I've noticed that you can do the very same. Like, oh my god, yeah, like I can feel myself welling up when I talk to Diana or Sam. As in, like, right now, I could cry when I read one of their comments. Yeah, I couldn't do it anymore. This guy's finished me off. I hate tattoos. I was never going to get one. Then one day went in, just got one there, and then wish I never did it. Don't like it at all. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone that, if they're truly honest with themselves, likes a tattoo they got 5 years later. You can pop in and out now into much deeper meditative depths. Same with you. Yeah. I struggle a bit with the word meditative because I'm still such a busy-minded person. And I'm not like, but yeah, like definitely, like life just sort of becomes a bit more of a meditation. You're much more in flow with it, and yeah, like everything's a spectrum, right? So when you're numb, okay, maybe you don't go to the depths, but you also, you don't feel joy and love and freedom. Like you've got to be able to experience it all. Like you can't just experience the good stuff. If you want to experience feeling, then you have to feel it all, and that will often start with the bad stuff that we're always running away from. Cheers, my man. Right, I'm just gonna shoot through. AHO.GREATOREX@gmail.com. In fact, I could do it like this, couldn't I? Oh, there's an at between X and Gmail. What a spaz. Has something happened? Oh, did I title this something like "What's Going On in the UK"? We talked about that at the beginning. I'm so fed up with hearing this. I know that's not me criticising you. Like, you may well be right, but people have been saying that for fucking 10 years, mate. Cheers, Tim. Thanks for being such a great part of it. You've brought some real depth to it. Copper. I've never heard anyone talking about that. All right, guys. Big love. Thanks for being here. I'm going to go and do some unboxing. Lol. Gay boy learns how to punch. Not really fucking crap. See you later.